So today we'll be talking about how to find your purpose and how to find what you're passionate about. I know that a lot of people do not know the answer to that question, so today we will talk about how to find your purpose and how to take it and use it to make you money and generate you an income. So the first thing you need to do is get a pen and paper and sit down with yourself. And what you're going to do with the pen and paper is divide that paper into 3 columns. A yes column, a maybe column, and a no column. And I'm going to let you know what to do in each column just in a second. So basically in each column, you would put your interest and what you're not interested in, or maybe you're interested in different of the industries. So I'll give you an example based on my what I'm interested in, what I'm not interested in, what I would do and maybe I would do or I would never do. So basically my no column that I know I will not try, at least for the time being, and I'm nowhere interested in, is MLM, which is multiple level marketing. I just don't feel this interest is for me. I have tried it before and I just didn't like it. It could work for other people, but it's just, I know that's not for me. So basically MLM, sorry, would be in the no column. It's something that I would never try. I just don't like it. I don't feel comfortable in. It's just not for me. So it's something that I know that I don't want to waste my time learning about it, or I do not want to try it again because I know it just wouldn't work for me. Another thing that I know for sure it's a no for me, at least for the time being, is e-commerce. I'm not the type of person that I like to buy a product or connect with someone from China and resell the products again. This is just not something for me. And I know a lot of people have made money through that industry, the e-commerce industry, but it's just not for me. I am not that type of a person that I like doing this. So that again is in my no column. In my maybe column, that the ones that I can maybe try are or where, that's how they will look like, but then I cross them into no's. I had a financial industry into the column of maybes because it was something that I might be interested in because I love math. And I thought that because you're a math person, the only thing you can do is financial. But again, I learned that into digital marketing, you also can do some math as well in there. So I did have financial into my maybe industry, but then I didn't like it, so I moved it to no, but you know what I mean. So I have in my maybe financial industry. Another thing that I have in my maybe industry is sales industry. So I have done sales before. I was in the sales industry before. I've worked in it for about, 3 years or 3 to 5 years, somewhere in that zone. So I had a lot of experience with sales, but just at some point I didn't like it anymore, or it may be something that I might go back to. So that's something that I have in my maybe column, that maybe I'll go back to it, or maybe I will move it to no. Like I'm still not sure about it, what I want to do with that industry yet. So I'm keeping it in the maybe. And then the yes industry, that's where you want to start. So you want to at least have one thing there to start with. So my yes industry, that's the one that I want to do for sure, is social media marketing or digital marketing, and also coaching and consulting. So I do know that I always fell in love with social media. I was always on the social media. I always like to play around and dig into the social media and see what is trending, what is not, and what is like the new things that are coming out in the social media. I just had that passion in me. So when I tried it, because before this time, which right now, it was in kind of like the maybe industry for me. But after I tried it, I just fell in love with it and I moved it to yes industry. That is something that I'm definitely passionate about. That's something that I want to learn. I want to put all my time towards it. I want to take courses to develop it and all these things, and take courses and programs to develop this skill, because it's something that I had a passion about it, right? Also, the other thing that I know I love so much is coaching other people, helping other people to get where they want to be and be the best version of themselves. I just always had that passion of helping others, and I didn't know how at the beginning. I didn't know which industry I can help them in, right? Because you can help people in so many different ways, right? So when I found that social media is the industry for me, and I've worked a lot through the last year on personal development, then coaching became those interests for me. So basically what I do now is I coach other people on how to basically get the right mindset, right? And while I'm working on my social media, learning skills and developing, I'll also be willing to help other people to get where I am right now, right? Because where I am today is way better than 5 years ago. So I can help the person who were me 5 years ago. So basically, those are my yeses industries that I want to start in. I want to dig deep. I want to develop as much information and skills that I can to help others and give it to them. So I recommend that you do the same as well. You put them into three columns, and you would basically divide them into those three columns. And if you have a yes, start right away with the yes one. And then what would you do if you have a lot of maybes? Like if you have a lot of just one yes and a lot of maybes, what would you do is that you would scale with the yes. You will start definitely with the yes, and then along the way, you basically, what would you do is that you would try one, maybe two maybes with it to see if that industry you are interested in it or you're not interested in it, right? But let's say you do not have anything at all in the yes, but you have a lot in the maybes and a little bit in the no's. So if you do have a little bit in the no's, cross them out. Do not try them. Even though maybe later on, like in life, you might be getting interested back in it and you'd be saying, oh, but now I'm interested in the no's. Do not start right now. Just right now, you want to be as clear as you can. So you want to make sure that you have at least one yes. If you do not have any yeses, but you have a lot of maybes, try to see which one of the maybes that you more resonate with it, and then take it and then try it out and see if it goes that if you find that it's something that you're interested in, then you move it to yes. If you find that it's something that you're not interested in, and when you tried it you were like, no, it's not for me, then you move it to no. So that's how you do it, and that's the first exercise that you need to do to get to that point. You just have to narrow it down, because the more narrowed down that you do it, the better it is for you. So the second thing you need to do is that finding your most painful moment. I know it's not easy to go to your most painful moment in your life, but you have to get to it. You have to sit down with yourself and go to your most painful point. The reason why, because the most painful point, that's your basically why. That's the people you want to help who have been through into that pain, or they have been through this experience. So I'll give you my example. So basically, like I've told you, my most painful moment was when I woke up last year on my 25th birthday, and I've realized that I've not done anything. I have not worked one day towards my goal, and I have not done anything at all. I've wasted 7 years of my life. saying tomorrow, next year, next month, next whatever. And I just kept pushing it until I woke up when I'm 25, and then I realized that I have not done anything at all, right? So I know that from my experience, I do not want somebody else to go through this, to feel that they have lost so much. And also the reason why I did not start as well back before 25, when I turned 25, basically because I was lost and I didn't know where to start, what I should be doing, which industry that I should be in. All these things, I just didn't know what I'm passionate about, right? It was one of those reasons. So that's why my passion and what I'm going to be able to help with with other people is that whoever have been feeling lost, or they feel that they don't know where to start, or they basically don't know where to start, what to do, what is the first step, right? Because all of this have went into my mind, but I've passed it and I've moved on it, right? I'm today taking steps towards my dreams. I've worked so much on my mindset during the last year, and I'm still developing my skills that I want to be interested in and I'm interested in. And basically, I know that I can help other people who were in my situation when I was a year ago, right? Because I don't want anybody else to wake up after so many years feeling that they have wasted so much time and now what I can do, right? I know that what I want right now is help somebody who basically feeling lost, or they are not sure about how to start or where to start. And also someone who has been procrastinating, right? Because procrastinating is a huge thing and a lot of people procrastinate. But the point is, nobody ever stopped procrastinating. The point is how you overcome procrastination, right? So my passion is to help those people who were in my situation, right? Because that's my worst day of my life, the worst pain that I've felt in my entire life. So you have to go back to your most painful moment and find out that why it's the most painful moment of your life, right? And how you can use it to help other people who are in that situation right now. So now that you found your yes and who you can help, it's time to find how you can help those people or help whoever you want to help, right? So basically, there's 3 different ways you can help anyone. The first thing you can do is done for you. And that basically means that you will be, I'm going to give an example here. So let's say that you found social media marketing is the interest that you want to be in, something you're passionate about and you're interested in, and that's something that you want to continue in it, right? So there's 3 different ways to help. And the first thing is done for you. So basically what would that be is that what would you do is that basically you would try to find contacts for the entrepreneur or for the company that you will be partnered with, and you'll be boosting that contact on their behalf, and you'll basically be trying to identify which contact is working and which is not. You'll be doing that yourself. So that's done for you. You do the work for that entrepreneur because he might not have the money, might not have the time to do it, or they just don't know where to look, right? So you'll be that person doing that for them. Now, the second way to help it is done with you. So that's through consulting or coaching. So basically, done with you is that you give somebody else the steps to do it, but they have to implement it themselves, right? So just like what I'm doing is that I help people to basically get where they want to be, but I do not do the work for them. I provide them with a plan. I help them to come up with a plan to exceed it and to get where they want to be. I also help them to give them advice on how to work their mindset, but I'm not personally the person who's doing all the work, right? Because they have to apply whatever I'm telling them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be getting where they want to be, right? So that's the second thing you can do. The third thing that you can do is DIY, do it yourself. So basically, that's a basic way of doing it, and you kind of have to mix it. Even if you're doing done for you or done with you, you have to mix it with them. The reason why, it's something like this right now. I am giving this YouTube for free, right? YouTube video about how to find your passion for free. I am not doing it with you at the moment, or I am not doing it for you at the moment, but I'm telling you to do it yourself, right? So it's DIY. So if you want to do DIY, you would basically, the way you would do it is create a free contact, and then you will share it with the people. You might later on just have a little bit of membership, like the YouTube membership, which they provide right now. But then that is DIY. That's basically, they do it themselves. You do not do it with them, or you do not do it for them. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways of basically doing what you want to do and helping people, because DIY itself, it's more into depth than this, because DIY you can deliver through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and broadcast. There's so many different ways that you can deliver through, right? So basically, the most important thing is to find your yes industry and who you want to help. Because who you want to help is when the most painful moment, that thing would never change. But how you can help them, it can change. You can start with DIY and then later on decide that you want to do done with you or done for you. You can always change how. But the one thing that you would never change is who you're going to help. And let me tell you something. Even though you have something right now that says yes and you are so passionate about, you can later on, moving forward, so you can change that and you can add more skills to it, right? So don't just think because you said yes to one thing right now that you have to stick with it forever. No, but if it's your yes right now, start with it. Do not stay and wait until you 100% sure, because none of us is 100% sure when they're starting up, especially when they're starting up. So start implementing what you are learning right away instead of waiting. Because if you keep waiting, the days is going to turn to years, the years going to turn to decade, right? And you will never be sure. So make sure that you are starting today. Doesn't matter how much percentage that you are sure, even if you're 1% sure that is the thing that you might be interested in, I would say start in it. Just start and see how it goes. Maybe you would fall in love with it. Maybe you're not. But at least start today. Do not say tomorrow I'm going to do it. The next day I'm going to do it. Do not do that. Start today right away and make sure to take actions today and not wait until tomorrow. So that's how to find your passion and how to find your purpose. Make sure to check my other videos, will be right here, and also to subscribe, like the video, and turn on the notification. I'll be posting videos every week, so make sure that you turn on the notification to receive those videos. And see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.